When Love Came Back Too Late. Part 1, The Voice on the Radio. It was raining the day Amelia heard his voice again. She was stuck in traffic, watching the windshield wipers drag across the glass like tired arms. Her fingers tapped on the steering wheel in rhythm with the soft piano coming from the car radio. Then, his voice. And that was City Lights by Elias James. We'll be back after the break. Amelia's heart stopped. Elias. Her Elias. The man who once played guitar on her fire escape at midnight. The man who told her she was the muse he never deserved. The man who vanished 5 years ago with no warning, no goodbye, no explanation, leaving behind only a broken engagement ring and a playlist titled For Our Future. She hadn't heard his name since. Not until today. Not until his voice, older now, smoother, more tired, slipped through the speakers like a ghost. She pulled over. She needed air. She needed answers. But most of all, she needed to remember how to breathe. Part 2, Songs from Another Life. Amelia spent the next few days pretending not to care. She turned the radio off. Blocked the station on her phone. But silence didn't help. Because silence had a way of replaying memories louder than any broadcast ever could. She remembered the first night she met Elias. She was 23, newly graduated, broke but romantic. He was a street musician in an old denim jacket, singing in front of a bookstore that smelled like rain and ink. When she dropped a $5 bill into his guitar case, he looked up, smiled, and said, "I was playing that one for you." Corny. Beautiful. Dangerous. 2 weeks later, they were inseparable. He would write songs and play them for her with trembling fingers. She would stay up late editing his lyrics, helping him chase perfection. Their apartment was small, but their love was oversized, naive, loud, poetic. And yet, somewhere along the line, he grew quieter. He began coming home later. Smelling like someone else's perfume. She'd ask, and he'd laugh it off. "You're imagining things, Millie." But the songs he used to write for her? Now they were about a girl with green eyes. Amelia's eyes were brown. And then, one day, he was gone. No note. No call. Just silence. Now, 5 years later, he was on the radio. And she was still in the same city, pretending she didn't ache when she heard his name. But aching was no longer enough. She needed to see him. She emailed the station. "Hi. I'd like to meet Elias James for an interview. I'm a journalist with the Pulse. Possible?" It was a lie. But heartbreak made her bold. 3 hours later, she got a reply. "Sure. He's free Friday, 1 p.m. Come by the studio." And just like that, the past came knocking. Part 3, A Face You Thought You Forgot. Amelia dressed simply that Friday. No makeup, no high heels, just jeans, a dark sweater, and her mother's silver ring. She didn't want to look like someone seeking closure. She wanted to look like someone who had already found it. But her hands trembled when she opened the door to the radio station. The receptionist looked up. "You're here for Elias." She nodded. "Studio B. He's inside." Every step down the hallway felt like walking through wet cement, heavy, irreversible. She paused at the door, her hand on the handle, her breath tight in her chest. And then she heard it, his laugh. It was the same. Exactly the same. She stepped inside. Elias stood with his back turned, adjusting his headphones. He turned slowly when he heard the door. And froze. His face dropped. "Amelia?" She stared at him, older, yes. More polished. But those same sea glass eyes. The same voice she once called home. "You're still alive," she said flatly. He opened his mouth. No words came. A full 10 seconds passed before she added. "You disappeared. You left. No goodbye." "I know," he finally whispered. "I didn't think I deserved to." She wanted to scream. Instead, she walked past him and sat across the table. "Let's begin," she said. "I have questions. And I want the truth this time." Elias sank into the chair like a man walking willingly into a fire. And for the first time in 5 years, they looked each other in the eyes. No music. No poetry. Just truth. Ending. Closure never comes easy. The interview started cold. Amelia asked him about his music. His rise in popularity. His new album. Then, without warning, she asked, "Who is she?" Elias didn't flinch. "Her name was Maya. I met her during a recording session. It was brief. Stupid. But I thought, maybe I was meant for something else. Something different." Amelia swallowed hard. "Did you love her?" He hesitated. That second of silence said everything. "No. Not the way I loved you." Silence filled the studio. She could have yelled. Thrown her coffee in his face. Cursed him until her voice cracked. But she didn't. Because in that moment, she realized something. She had already let go. "I don't hate you, Elias," she said quietly. "But I don't miss you either." He blinked, visibly shaken. Maybe he expected tears. A breakdown. A second chance. Instead, she stood. "Thanks for your time. I hope the songs keep coming. Even the ones not about me." She left the studio without looking back. Outside, the rain had stopped. The clouds were parting, and the sunlight hit her like a small, golden truth. She had survived. Some heartbreaks don't need revenge. Some just need distance. And a voice on the radio to remind you how far you've come. The end.